The sky was dark and heavy with rain as Daniel sat quietly in his sleek black car. He was a billionaire, one of the richest men in the city, but tonight he didn't feel like celebrating. Business meetings had filled his day, and he was tired. His mind was full of numbers, plans, and deals, but none of it seemed important right now. The car moved slowly on the wet road. Street lights flickered, and the rain made everything look blurry. Daniel's driver was careful, but suddenly the car in front of them skidded on the slippery road. Daniel saw it clearly. A small white car lost control and crashed into a metal pole. The loud sound of the crash echoed in the night. Daniel's driver gasped, and Daniel immediately told him to stop the car. Without waiting for the driver to say anything, Daniel opened his door and stepped out into the rain. Water dripped from the trees, and the cold air made his skin shiver. But Daniel didn't care about the cold or the rain. His eyes were fixed on the small car. The front of the car was damaged, the windshield cracked, and the driver's door was stuck. Daniel hurried to the car, his heart beating faster. Inside, he saw a woman slumped over the steering wheel. Her face was pale, and blood was coming from a cut on her forehead. Behind her, in the back seat, was a little girl, no older than 7. She had curly black hair and big, scared eyes. She was crying softly, her small hands shaking as she tried to wake her mother. "Mom! Mom, please wake up," the little girl whispered, her voice trembling. Daniel felt something inside him change. He had never been close to children, never held a mother's pain so close before. Now, he was standing there, watching a family break apart in front of him. He bent down and gently opened the driver's door. It was stuck tight, but with a strong push, it gave way. Carefully, he pulled the woman out of the car and laid her on the wet ground, away from the wreck. "Stay with me," Daniel said softly, checking her breathing. She was breathing slowly, but her eyes were closed, and she didn't respond. He turned to the little girl. She was trembling in the back seat. Daniel reached inside and lifted her out, holding her close. The little girl clung to him, wrapping her arms tightly around his neck. "Don't be afraid," Daniel whispered, though he wasn't sure if he believed his own words. The rain kept falling, mixing with the tears on the girl's face. Daniel pulled out his phone and called for an ambulance. His voice was calm but urgent. Minutes felt like hours as Daniel stayed there with the mother and daughter. He covered the woman with his jacket to keep her warm and held the little girl close so she wouldn't feel alone. When the ambulance arrived, the paramedics quickly took over. Daniel gave them the details he had seen and then followed them to the hospital, still holding the little girl's hand. Inside the hospital waiting room, the little girl sat quietly next to Daniel. She looked at him with a shy but trusting smile. "My name is Mia," she said softly. Daniel nodded and smiled back. "I'm Daniel." Mia's eyes filled with tears again. "Is my mom going to be okay?" Daniel didn't know what to say. He wanted to promise her everything would be fine, but he wasn't sure. He only knew one thing: he wouldn't leave them alone. As he sat there, waiting for news, Daniel thought about the accident and the small family he had just met. He realized how fragile life could be and how important it was to help others when they needed it most. That night, Daniel's life, which had been all about business and money, suddenly had a new meaning. Daniel sat in the quiet hospital waiting room, the ticking clock the only sound around him. Outside, the rain was still falling softly, but inside, the air felt heavy with worry and hope. Mia, the little girl he had saved from the accident, sat beside him on a plastic chair. She held tightly to his hand, her small fingers curled around his. Her big eyes looked up at him, searching for comfort. "Is my mom awake?" Mia asked softly, her voice trembling. Daniel swallowed hard. He wasn't a doctor, and he didn't know what would happen. But he knew he had to be strong for Mia. "The doctors are doing their best," he said gently. Your mom is very brave. Mia nodded but didn't say anything. She looked down at her shoes, then back at Daniel. For a moment, the two sat quietly, sharing a silence full of questions. After what felt like a long time, a nurse walked into the waiting room. She smiled kindly at Daniel and Mia. Your wife and daughter are here to see you, she said, leading a young man towards them. Daniel looked up, surprised. The man looked tired but relieved. I'm Mark, he said softly. I'm Mia's father. Mia's eyes lit up when she saw Mark. She jumped up and ran to him, wrapping her arms around his legs. Mark hugged her back tightly. Daniel stood and introduced himself. I'm Daniel. I helped with the accident. Mark thanked Daniel with a sincere nod. I don't know what I would have done without you. Daniel smiled quietly. I'm glad I was there. The nurse guided them down the hall to a hospital room. Inside, the woman Daniel had helped lay on the bed. She was pale but awake. Her dark eyes opened slowly as Mia and Mark entered. Mama! Mia cried, running to her mother's side. The woman smiled weakly and reached out to hold Mia's hand. I'm okay, baby, she whispered. I'm so glad you're here. Daniel stayed near the door, watching the family reunite. The woman's name was Anna, and she was clearly tired but strong. She looked at Daniel with gratitude in her eyes. Thank you for helping us, Anna said softly. Daniel nodded. I'm just glad you're okay. Mark held Anna's hand. The doctors say she'll recover, but she needs rest and care. Anna smiled faintly. We're lucky to have each other. As the night went on, Daniel learned more about Anna and Mia. They lived in a small apartment nearby. Anna was a single mother, working hard to give Mia a good life. The accident had happened while they were driving home from the grocery store. Daniel felt a deep respect for Anna's strength. She had been through so much, yet she never gave up. Mia looked up at Daniel again. Will you stay with us? She asked quietly. Daniel was surprised by the question. What do you mean? He asked. Mia smiled shyly. I don't want to be alone. Mom needs help, and you're kind. Daniel felt warmth in his chest. No one had ever asked him to stay before. He had always lived alone, focused on work. But now, here was a little girl asking him to be part of their world. I'll stay as long as you need, Daniel promised. Anna's eyes filled with tears. Thank you, she said. The next few days passed in a blur. Daniel visited the hospital every morning, bringing flowers and small gifts for Mia. He helped Anna with her medical bills and arranged for nurses to visit their apartment when she went home. Slowly, Anna grew stronger. She smiled more and talked about the future with hope. One afternoon, as Daniel sat with Mia in the hospital garden, she looked up at him with a serious face. Do you like my mom? Mia asked. Daniel smiled. Yes, very much. Mia whispered, she's my mom. Marry her. Daniel blinked, surprised by the small voice and bold words. Mia smiled, her eyes full of hope. Daniel laughed softly. That's a big idea, Mia. Mia nodded confidently. She's kind and brave. She makes me happy. You should marry her. Daniel looked at Anna, who was nearby, watching them with a gentle smile. He felt something new in his heart, a feeling he hadn't known before. That night, Daniel thought about Mia's words. He realized that helping Anna and Mia was more than just an accident. It was the beginning of a new chapter, a chance to find a family, love, and happiness. For the first time in a long time, Daniel felt ready to open his heart. Days passed quickly, but each moment felt special for Daniel, Anna, and Mia. The small hospital room that had once been filled with fear now held soft laughter and quiet hope. Anna's strength surprised everyone. Though she was still weak from the accident, She smiled often and spoke about getting back to their simple life. Daniel admired her courage and kindness. One morning, Anna was ready to leave the hospital. The doctors said she could go home, but she would need to take it slow. Daniel helped pack their things, carrying bags and holding Mia's hand as they walked down the bright hospital halls. Outside, the rain had stopped. The sun peeked through the clouds, warming the wet streets. Daniel looked at Anna and Mia and felt a strange happiness inside him, a feeling he hadn't known before. "I'll take care of you both," Daniel promised quietly. Anna smiled warmly. "Thank you, Daniel. You have been a true friend." Mia giggled and tugged at Daniel's sleeve. "You're like a hero." Daniel laughed. "Maybe just a lucky man." They got into Daniel's car, and he drove them to their apartment. It was a small, cozy place, filled with old furniture and colorful curtains. Anna looked around with a tired but content smile. "This is home," she said softly. Mia ran to the window and pressed her hands against the glass. "I miss this." Daniel helped Anna settle in and made sure everything was ready for her to rest. He stayed late, talking quietly with Anna about her dreams and hopes. "I want to give Mia a better life," Anna said. "One without fear." Daniel nodded. "We will make that happen. Together." Over the next few weeks, Daniel visited every day. He helped Anna with errands and even cooked simple meals. Mia loved having him around, and soon, the little apartment felt warmer and fuller than ever before. One afternoon, Daniel sat with Anna in the living room. Sunlight poured through the window, casting a soft glow on her face. "Daniel," Anna began, "you don't have to do all this for us." Daniel shook his head. "I want to. You and Mia have become very important to me." Anna looked down, then smiled shyly. "It's strange how life works. We meet strangers, and suddenly, they become family." Daniel reached out and gently held her hand. "Family is what we choose." Mia entered the room, carrying a small book. "Look, Daniel. I drew a picture for you." He smiled and took the colorful drawing. It showed 3 figures holding hands under a bright sun. The smallest figure was labeled Mia, the tallest Daniel, and the woman in the middle Mom. Daniel's eyes softened as he looked at the picture. "This is beautiful, Mia." She beamed with pride. "I want us to be a family. A real family." Daniel looked at Anna and then at Mia. His heart felt full, and a new hope grew inside him. That evening, as they sat around the small dining table, Daniel found himself telling stories from his childhood, something he rarely did. Anna and Mia listened closely, laughing at his funny memories and sharing their own. For the first time in many years, Daniel felt he belonged somewhere. But even with the happiness growing, Daniel knew the road ahead would not be easy. Anna's recovery was still delicate, and the challenges of everyday life loomed. One night, after Mia had gone to bed, Daniel and Anna sat quietly by the window. "I never thought I would find this," Daniel said softly. "Find what?" Anna asked, turning to him. "Family. Love. A place to call home." Anna smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. "Maybe we were meant to meet." Daniel nodded. "Maybe fate has a plan for us all." As the city lights twinkled outside, Daniel made a silent promise to himself: he would protect Anna and Mia with everything he had. No matter what. Because this small family, born from an accident and kindness, was now the most important thing in his life. The days after Anna's return home were full of small moments, some joyful, some difficult. Daniel stayed close, helping in every way he could. He saw the quiet struggles Anna faced, and he never once stepped back. Anna was still healing from her injuries. Sometimes, simple things like walking across the room or cooking a meal made her tired. But she refused to give up. Every day, she pushed herself a little more. Mia was her bright light. The little girl's laughter filled the apartment, making it feel alive and warm. Mia loved Daniel like a second father. She would run to him with stories from school or show him drawings she had made. One morning, Daniel helped Anna get ready to see a doctor for a checkup. Anna was nervous, but Daniel held her hand tightly. "I'm scared," she admitted softly. Daniel smiled gently. "I'll be right here. You're stronger than you think." At the hospital, the doctor gave good news. Anna's injuries were healing well, but she still needed to rest and take care of herself. The doctor also talked about physical therapy, a plan to help Anna regain her full strength. Anna nodded. "I will do whatever it takes." After the appointment, Daniel drove them home. The sun was shining, but Anna's smile was tired. Daniel looked at her and said, "You're doing amazing. Don't forget that." Anna squeezed his hand. "I couldn't do this without you." Daniel shook his head. "You're not alone anymore." Back at the apartment, Daniel began to think about more than just Anna's health. He wanted to give Mia a better life. He arranged for Mia to join a good school nearby, one with caring teachers and friends. When Mia heard the news, she jumped with joy. "Thank you, Daniel. I can't wait to go." Anna smiled, tears in her eyes. "You've given us hope." But not everything was easy. Anna sometimes worried about money. Though Daniel helped with many things, she wanted to stand on her own feet again. She wanted to work, to be independent. One afternoon, Anna shared her thoughts with Daniel. "I want to find a job," she said quietly. "I want to provide for Mia." Daniel nodded with respect. "That's very brave. I will support you, whatever you decide." Together, they looked for opportunities. Daniel used his connections to find a part-time position for Anna at a small company. It wasn't a big job, but it was a start. Anna worked hard, balancing her health and responsibilities. Daniel admired her determination. Meanwhile, Daniel began to open up about his own past. One evening, he told Anna about his childhood, how he had lost his parents early and had built his empire alone. "I was lonely for a long time," he said. "I focused on work because I didn't know how to ask for help." Anna listened, her eyes soft. "You don't have to be alone anymore." Daniel smiled, feeling a warmth he had never known. Mia, too, noticed the change. One day, she asked Daniel, "Are you happy now?" Daniel thought for a moment and said, "Yes, Mia. More than ever." The little girl beamed. "That's good. Because we love you." Daniel felt tears prick his eyes. "I love you too." But life still brought its challenges. One evening, Anna had a bad day. Her injuries made moving painful, and she felt overwhelmed. Daniel sat beside her, holding her hand. "It's okay to be scared," he said gently. "We will get through this together." Anna leaned on him, feeling safe for the first time in a long while. That night, Daniel thought about the family they were becoming. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. He realized that love wasn't about grand gestures or money. It was about kindness, trust, and being there for each other. And no matter what happened, Daniel was ready to face the future with Anna and Mia by his side. The morning sun shone softly through the window, casting warm light over the small apartment. It was a quiet Saturday, but the air was full of hope and new beginnings. Anna sat at the kitchen table, her hands folded neatly. Today was her first day at the new job Daniel had helped her find. Though she felt nervous, she was ready. This was her chance to stand on her own feet again. Daniel watched her from across the room. He saw the mixture of excitement and fear in her eyes. "You're going to do great," he said gently. "Just take one step at a time." Anna smiled, grateful for Daniel's support. "Thank you for believing in me." Mia bounced into the room, her backpack slung over one shoulder. I'm going to school now. You'll have to tell me about your day later. Daniel chuckled. Deal. As Anna left the apartment, Daniel helped Mia get ready for school. The little girl was full of energy and laughter, a bright light in their lives. Daniel felt lucky to be part of their world. The day passed slowly for Daniel. Without Anna and Mia around, the apartment felt quieter than usual. He busied himself with work but kept checking his phone, waiting to hear from Anna. When the evening came, Anna returned, tired but smiling. Daniel greeted her at the door. "How was your day?" he asked. Anna sighed happily. "Hard, but good. The people are kind, and I learned a lot." Daniel helped her with her bag and made tea for both of them. As they sat together, Anna talked about her new co-workers and the tasks she had learned. "I feel like I'm starting over," Anna said softly. "It's scary, but I'm proud of myself." Daniel reached out and held her hand. "I'm proud of you too." Meanwhile, Mia had made new friends at school. She told Daniel about the games she played and the stories her teacher read. Daniel loved hearing Mia's stories. They made him feel closer to the family he was becoming. Days turned into weeks, and Anna's strength grew. She worked hard, balancing her health and her new responsibilities. Daniel continued to support her in every way. One afternoon, Anna received a surprise visit from Mark, Mia's father. He looked healthier now, and his eyes showed hope. "I want to be part of Mia's life," Mark said quietly. "I've made mistakes, but I want to help." Anna listened carefully. The past was complicated, but she appreciated Mark's honesty. Daniel watched the conversation from a distance. He knew this was a delicate moment for Anna and Mia. Mia, curious but brave, approached Mark. "Do you want to play with me?" Mark smiled and nodded. "Yes, I do." For the first time since the accident, the family felt a little more whole. Daniel stayed close, ready to support Anna and Mia as they navigated this new chapter. That evening, Anna and Daniel sat together, talking about the changes. "I'm glad Mark wants to be here," Anna said. "It's good for Mia." Daniel nodded. "You're doing amazing. I'm proud of all of you." Anna looked at Daniel with warmth in her eyes. "You've been a true friend." Daniel smiled softly. "More than a friend." As the weeks passed, Daniel and Anna grew closer. They shared quiet moments, laughter, and sometimes tears. Their bond deepened, built on trust and kindness. One night, after Mia had gone to bed, Daniel and Anna sat by the window, watching the stars. "Do you ever think about the future?" Anna asked. Daniel took her hand gently. "Yes. And I want to build it with you." Anna smiled, feeling hope bloom inside her heart. She whispered, "Maybe this accident was not the end, but a beginning." Daniel nodded. "A beautiful beginning." Together, they looked forward to the days ahead full of challenges, love, and the promise of a new family. The days grew warmer as spring slowly entered the city, and with it came new challenges for Daniel, Anna, and Mia. Though life was improving, the past sometimes came back to remind them that healing was not always easy. One afternoon, Daniel sat in the living room, reading a letter that had arrived for Anna. The envelope was old and worn, and Daniel could see the hesitation in Anna's eyes when he handed it to her. "What is it?" Daniel asked gently. Anna sighed deeply. "It's from my sister. We haven't spoken in years." Daniel watched as Anna carefully opened the letter. Her hands trembled slightly. "I want to read it, but it's hard," she whispered. Daniel reached out and took her hand. "Take your time." Anna read slowly, the words bringing back memories of pain and regret. Her sister wrote about wanting to reconnect, to forgive and be forgiven. For a moment, Anna's face was full of confusion and sadness. Then, something softened in her eyes. "I don't know if I'm ready," Anna said quietly. But maybe, it's time. Daniel nodded. I'm here for you. The next few days were difficult for Anna. She spent hours thinking and talking with Daniel about what to do. She wanted to heal the past but feared the pain it might bring. One evening, Daniel suggested, maybe meeting her will help you find peace. Anna looked at him with gratitude. I hope so. With Daniel's support, Anna agreed to meet her sister at a small cafe near the park. Daniel promised to be nearby in case she needed him. On the day of the meeting, Anna felt nervous. She wore a simple dress, her hands clasped tightly as she waited. Mia stayed with Daniel, unaware of the weight on Anna's heart. When her sister arrived, there was a brief moment of silence. Then they hugged, tears flowing freely. I'm sorry for everything, her sister said softly. Anna's heart ached, but she felt a release she hadn't known before. I'm sorry too, Anna replied. Let's try to start again. Daniel watched from a distance, proud of Anna's courage. He knew that facing the past was never easy, but it was an important step. After the meeting, Anna returned home with a lighter heart. She shared the experience with Daniel and Mia, feeling hopeful for the first time in a long while. Mia hugged her tightly. I'm happy you talked to her, Mom. Daniel smiled. You're all very strong. But the challenges were not over. One evening, Daniel received a call from work. There was trouble in one of his companies, and he needed to handle it immediately. Daniel hesitated. He didn't want to leave Anna and Mia, especially now when they needed him most. Anna noticed his worry. Go, she said gently. I will be okay. Daniel kissed her forehead. I won't be gone long. At the office, Daniel worked late into the night. The problem was serious, and he had to make important decisions. But even as he focused on work, his thoughts were with Anna and Mia. He wished he could be with them, to protect them from the worries of the world. Back at the apartment, Anna took care of Mia and herself. She cooked a simple dinner and helped Mia with homework. She was tired but proud of how far she had come. As Daniel returned home late that night, Anna greeted him with a warm smile. You handled it well, she said. Daniel sighed with relief. I just want to make sure our family is safe. Anna nodded. We are stronger together. That night, as they sat together, Daniel felt the weight of his responsibilities and the warmth of his new family. He realized that no matter what the past or future held, love and support would guide them. Mia, sleeping peacefully in the next room, was the reason he wanted to be better, to be more than just a businessman. Daniel took Anna's hand and whispered, we will face everything together. Anna smiled softly. Together. The road ahead was still full of unknowns, but for the first time, Daniel felt ready. With Anna and Mia by his side, he believed they could overcome anything. And so, in the quiet of the night, a new hope was born, a hope built on trust, courage, and the promise of family. The morning sun poured gently through the curtains of the small apartment. Birds chirped outside, and the city was waking up slowly. Inside, Daniel, Anna, and Mia were beginning a day that felt different, full of quiet excitement and hope. For weeks, Daniel had been thinking about something very important. He wanted to tell Anna how much she and Mia had changed his life. But finding the right words was not easy. He wanted the moment to be perfect. That morning, as Mia got ready for school, Daniel helped tie her shoes. Mia looked up at him with bright eyes and asked, will you come to my school play next week? Daniel smiled warmly. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Mia's face lit up. Yay! You're the best. Anna watched the two with a soft smile. She felt grateful for this family they were building one step at a time. After Mia left for school, Daniel turned to Anna. I have something I want to say, he said nervously. Anna's eyes met his. What is it? Daniel took a deep breath. You and Mia have given me a new life. I want to be there for you both, always. Anna looked surprised but happy. Daniel, he smiled and reached into his pocket. I want to ask you to marry me. Anna's eyes filled with tears of joy. Yes, she whispered. Yes, I will. Daniel pulled out a small ring, simple but beautiful. He slipped it onto Anna's finger. The promise was made not just between two people, but a family. That evening, Mia came home from school, excited to hear the news. When Daniel told her, Mia jumped and hugged Anna tightly. You're going to be my mom forever, Mia exclaimed. Anna laughed, tears streaming down her cheeks. Forever and always. In the days that followed, Daniel and Anna planned a small celebration with close friends. They wanted it to be simple but full of love, a true beginning for their new family. On the day of the wedding, the sun shone bright. The small apartment was filled with flowers and laughter. Mia wore a pretty dress, holding a bouquet she had made herself. Daniel stood beside Anna, holding her hand. Their eyes met, full of promise and trust. As they said their vows, Daniel felt his heart swell. This was more than a wedding, it was the start of a lifetime of happiness. Anna's voice was steady but soft. I promise to stand by you, through every joy and challenge. Daniel replied, I promise to love and protect you both, always. Mia smiled wide and whispered, I'm so happy. Their friends cheered as the family embraced. It was a perfect moment, one filled with hope and love. After the ceremony, Daniel took Anna and Mia to a nearby park. They walked hand in hand, enjoying the warm breeze and the bright colors of spring. Mia ran ahead, laughing, while Daniel and Anna followed slowly. Daniel stopped and looked at Anna. Thank you for trusting me. For letting me be part of your life. Anna smiled. Thank you for saving us. For being our family. Daniel pulled her close. This is just the beginning. That night, as they sat together watching the stars, Daniel felt peace like never before. He knew that life would bring challenges, but with Anna and Mia by his side, nothing was impossible. Anna rested her head on Daniel's shoulder. I love you, she said. I love you too, Daniel whispered. Mia, asleep in the next room, was the light that brought them all together. Together, they dreamed of a future filled with laughter, love, and endless possibilities. Because sometimes, the most unexpected moments can create the most beautiful stories. And theirs was just beginning.